All right, now let's transition to the NFL, where a pretty big trade happened earlier in the week. The New York Jets have traded their former first round quarterback, Sam Darnold, to the Carolina Panthers. In return, they get a 2021 sixth round pick and 2022 second round pick and a fourth round pick. That's what the Panthers gave the Jets. Okay, Drake, pretty simple. Who do you think got the better end of this trade?
The better end of the trade was the Panthers. The Panthers, listen, they gave up crumbs. Like a sixth round this year, okay. Probably not going to lose sleep about that. And then next year you gave up a second and a fourth. Yeah. What a whopper on that one. Listen, and you get Sam Darnold. And listen, I know people are up in ants about this quarterback class. Um, but I think usually when you have a quarterback class with this many guys that might get taken in the first round, which I'm hearing 5 names, two of those guys usually pan out, and then the other three is kind of we still trying to figure them out. Um, if you go off the premise of what you've heard, right? Trevor Lawrence probably going to be one of the two that pan out if you go off what you heard, and then they saying the second one could be Zach Wilson or Justin Fields or Mac Jones or Trey Lance, one of the other four guys, right? I bring that up to say this. Yeah, the Panthers could have stayed in the draft and drafted a quarterback. Yes, they could have. But for what? When I can get a deal like this for Sam Darnold, a guy I didn't seen, a guy that I have NFL tape for, be they as it may, it might be the New York Jets, but still, I got NFL tape on them, right? And all I got to do is give up, crumbs pretty much for him. I'm going to take this deal. I'm going to take this. I think we have to remember how aggressive the Carolina Panthers have been since David Tepper took over. Him, Matt Rule, like they've been going for the gusto here. I like what they're doing. And I do think Carolina won because the picks that they traded away to the Jets gonna F them up. And they're gonna F them up. This is gonna be a young S show, and we're gonna continue talking about how trash the Jets are. That's just what it is. Yeah. The Jets have shown us nothing to make us believe that, oh man, these picks, they're gonna turn the franchise around. You're right. They're gonna turn the whole franchise literally around and start playing Canadian football. That is what's going to happen. Start pointing towards the north. So I think, Carolina won, right? They the top winner. The second winner is Sam Darnold. I had to believe that Sam Darnold was sitting at the crib like, man, this is tough. I mean, I'm blessed to be an NFL quarterback. I'm living my dream. But man, why couldn't I live my dream somewhere else? Yeah. Right? And then he gets that call, hey, we trade you to Carolina. How do you feel about it? We sorry that we're doing this to you. We wanted you here. We wanted you to be a Hall of Famer here. I'm pretty sure Sam Darnold like, yeah, absolutely. I wanted to be here. Yeah, yeah, move that box over there. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's gonna be tough for me to probably sell this house, and I got some things going on. Yeah, we already talked to Carolina. Don't worry about it. Yeah. All right, boss. Yeah, man. It was tough. I love New York. You guys have been so good to me. You got me every player I wanted, every piece I needed to make this franchise go to the next level. And I thank y'all so much. Guarantee you that conversation didn't go like that. Sam Darnold probably sent them a text. Thanks. Bye. I'm out. With the deuce emoji. So I'm happy for him because once again, this goes along the lines of like a situation in the NFL that I think is progressing, which is everybody's getting younger and younger and younger. Carolina is a pretty young staff. Sam Darnold's still a young quarterback. He's only been in the league 3 years. You have to remember, he came in the league, I think he was 18. So he's like 21, 22. So, I know that sounds crazy, like, because we talk about football instead of basketball, but that happened. He was so young in college. He came in like 19. He was really, really young when he came in. So, with that said, he's probably 23, 24. So, he still got tread on those tires.
Yeah, he'll be 24 this season.
Right. So, all right. So he still got tread on those tires. See, that's all off the dome, folks. All off the dome. No notes. Just um.
Little in-show fact check.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I like it. I like because I'm going off the dome. You got the facts. Correct me when I'm wrong. But so he's young. He still got tread on the tires. Now he's coming to a young offensive mind. And with I didn't say it all that and forgot the guy's name. With the offensive coordinator, what is the guy's name?
Joe Brady. Joe Brady.
Joe Brady. There we go. I'm like, why can't I say his name? Young offense coordinator Joe Brady, Matt Rule. We see what they got going on. He's gonna come in, most likely be in competition with Teddy Bridgewater, unless Teddy Bridgewater find another landing spot this offseason, which I don't know if he will. I don't know if the quarterback situation around the NFL is really conducive to his market, to what he might be trying to do. I think they're gonna be battling for the one spot for the quarterback. But listen. I call this the Bill Belichick method. Why go build through the draft when I could just trade away my picks and build through free agency? Because at the end of the day, we're seeing less and less and less of these prospects. It used to be the time where as soon as they declared, you had this whole ordeal planned out where you could see this guy as much as you wanted to make sure he was your guy. It's not like that no more. Especially not like that now because of COVID. So it's only so much you can do outside of watching game tape for these guys. So a lot of coaches, a lot of organizations are saying, you know what? We're going to build through free agency. Just like in college, they started to build through the transfer portal. Now that's what they're doing in the NFL. We're going to build through free agency. So that's why I kind of see what Carolina did. Overall, to answer your question, I think Pittsburgh won. I mean, not why I said Pittsburgh. I think Carolina won. Carolina won the trade because they got the best player of the trade, which was the only player of the trade. But still, they got the best player of the trade. Secondly, Sam Darnold won because he just got out of hell. Somebody just posted his parole. He just got out on parole. Now he got to go and do 1 year over here at Carolina. Then he good. His record gonna be clear. He gonna be back out of here on the streets. But all seriously, he coming. He gets to go over to Carolina. He gets to restart. He gets to rebrand his career, reboot his career per se, and see what he can do on the NFC. And I like the move. I like what Carolina did. And let's be real, New York. Let's be real. New York did nothing in this situation to make you think, oh, they heading on the right direction. Oh, the only thing I can say New York did right here is pretty much give us the inclination that they're going to draft Zach Wilson. That's the only thing I can say that they did that I gave a rip about, is they opened up the gates for them to draft Zach Wilson now with the number 2 pick. So outside of that was my takeaways, and that's what I thought won the trade.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy. Carolina won the trade. I thought it was 2 fourths and a 6. So I mean, at least the Jets got a second out of it. So I mean, that's something. But it doesn't seem like a particularly high price to pay. Like I felt like it pretty, immediately. I'm like, that's it. Like, okay, Carolina made out pretty well. I mean, and it's almost similar to a stock that is kind of bottomed out, so to speak. I mean, that's kind of what Sam Darnold is, because I mean, this season was pretty rough. 2-10, 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, just not a great year. But it's also fair to say that we don't really know what to make of Sam Darnold, because he's been in such a dysfunctional situation that I would continue to reserve judgment until we see him play for Joe Brady and the Carolina Panthers. So, I think your, synopsis is quite right. I think Carolina is the big winner. Sam Darnold also wins. And yeah, I don't know when I'd get to the Jets winning, but I could, slide in a bunch of other, winners, including,
the Ravens won, the Bills won.
Well, I mean, all these other teams, like, in the top, draft picks, it gives them clarity, because we know, it's kind of foregone conclusion that the Jaguars will take Trevor Lawrence. Now you got a good inclination that the Jets, Zach Wilson, but it'll have to be a quarterback, because they just gave theirs away. So it kind of gives, the next teams in line a little bit more. Okay, we kind of know these two things. It gives them less to kind of plan for. So,
Right.
and then throw in what other comedy you want to. Maybe the Jets by about maybe they're the 15th winner here because we don't have any confidence in the Jets. We talked about this when Robert Saleh took the job. It's like, oh man, we like Robert Saleh. We got a lot of respect for him and what he did out there coaching that 49ers defense. But yeah, you with the Jets now, man. So best of luck to you. Because you know how it worked out for, we still got respect for Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles didn't resurrect himself. So, I mean, Adam Gase, nobody has any interest in Adam Gase right now. We just got interested in making fun of him. But, I mean, that old press conference that he had where he's just looking all the way around and like, what kind of drugs are you on? But, I mean.
That's what we're going to ask the next GM if he get another job. What kind of drugs you on? Because
and to that point, another loser might indeed be Zach Wilson, by the way, or whatever quarterback goes there. Because I'm not sure, even if somehow the Jaguars like, you know what, actually we'd like Zach Wilson. Trevor, you can go to New York. I don't think whatever quarterback goes there loses because I don't have faith in the organization as a whole. Like they're not well run. I mean, the draft picks they do get right, they can't keep them happy, a la Jamal Adams. So it's just not a very good situation. I mean, they can't even keep guys like Robbie Anderson. So, I mean, Leonard Williams. Let's just keep naming Jets who were good that are somewhere else now and making good money, by the way. But yeah, Sam Darnold, and I disagree a little bit. And I do agree with the point you make that it'll be, a competition, but I think it's Sam Darnold's job to lose because I think you don't make this trade for Sam Darnold unless you believe that he can be the guy because, and this is no knock on Teddy Bridgewater. I got a lot of respect for him and what he's done and what he's overcome to be in this position with the injuries. But I think it's safe to say we know what Teddy Bridgewater is. He's kind of a stopgap guy at this point. He's a guy that'll come in and can hold down the fort. He won't embarrass you, take care of the ball type of guy. But I feel like last year they saw what they had in Teddy Bridgewater and they said, well, I think we need a little bit more. And Sam Darnold may not be that guy, but at least they see there's upside. And with a guy like Joe Brady, I mean, if there's anybody that can get the best out of a quarterback, Joe Brady might be the guy. Because we saw, remember before Joe Brady got to LSU, we was laughing at Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow was there stinking up the joint.
I was laughing at Joe Burrow the year before Joe Brady got there. So if he can do it with Joe Burrow, Sam Darnold, like we say, still a very young guy. I don't think he's been given the greatest chance so far in his career. This is a big opportunity, and I think if anybody can seize the day on it, it can be Joe Brady plus Matt Rule. I think I was a little skeptical of the Matt Rule hire at first, but they hit it in the right direction. I love what they did with the draft last year because it's exactly what I said they should do. Draft all defense, and they did it. So I love the direction they're headed. Also, don't forget, Darnold will have some legit weapons down there. He'll have Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, a guy he's familiar with the Jets. So I think it's a big win for Carolina. And I think Carolina's a sleeper team, across the NFC to look out for in general. I think everyone should be paying attention to them.